Everyone, this NHL News Reports are back in the video, and today I want to talk about some goalies here from the Atlantic Division. I was thought about doing all 32, but I thought let's do 8 teams to really talk about these goalies. How are they doing to start the season? Of course, we've been into some games here. We've seen how teams have done. Good, bad, mediocre, right? So we've seen about, 12, 13 games, a couple around 11 games, but usually, or one, like the Auto Senators, around 10 games. But, mostly everyone's around 11 to 12 games, at this moment. So let's talk about how, each of these teams are doing, and talk about the Canadiens, Red Wings, Senators, Bruins, Maple Leafs, Panthers, Lightning, and the Sabres. So starting off with the Montreal Canadiens, not the best night last night against the Lightning. 4 goals in the first period, really putting the game away at that point. But they kind of fight back in the second half of the game, especially that third period. They got a couple goals, and that was very important. The game ended 5-3, but they did push back a little there, for sure. So looking at that, Allen got pulled in the first period after 4 goals and like 9 shots. So Allen was gone, but mostly Allen's been pretty solid the whole season so far. All the starts he's been really just staying on his head, making a lot of great saves, helping the Canadiens win games. But last night wasn't the best night. But we're not really gonna talk about that much. I think his save percentage dropped after that 4 goals and 9 saves. Over 9 shots, I should say. 4 goals and 9 shots. It was like a 924, went to like a 904, something like that. So it did drop, but if he continues to do like he's done, this year, that will, rise up again. Hopefully. Same thing with Montembeault. He came in, didn't, let it go in. So pretty good for him. For Montembeault, he's been pretty good, solid. We'll see how he does on, longer term here with the Montreal Canadiens. His deal does end this year, 1 million, and we'll see how things go. But Montembeault's solid, either you like him or not, but I like Montembeault a lot. I think Montembeault can, be, that guy for us this year, along with Allen to help him out too. But Montembeault, he's 27, I think, now, so see how he does. This is the age, it's time to really, get him together here. So, if the defense holds up, I think Montembeault would do well, and same thing with Allen. Now, talking about Primo, they have 3 goalies here. It's not always easy to have 3 goalies because then you can't have an extra defenseman or forward on your, roster. Instead, you have one less forward or defenseman because you have a goalie, right? 23 on the roster, and if you add a third goalie, and you don't use them as much, that's taking up a roster spot, right? So Primo has played 1 game, pretty solid against the Devils, I believe it was. But he did lose that one. I forgot what the score was. But Primo looks solid, but there were some goals he did let in. He's been like that, someone who doesn't really have much trade value at this moment. But if you waive him, go to the minors, he does require waivers. This year's his first year requiring waivers. So you can't just send him to the AHL level Rocket. You can't just send him there. You have to put him on waivers. He requires waivers so another team can look and pick him up. So let's say, for example, Colorado picks him up. Alright, Colorado. Or Carolina, Freddie Anderson's out, right? So let's say one of them pick him up. And then they put him on waivers. Montreal has the first, they can be the first ones to pick up Primo again, and then they can send him straight to the minors, if they choose so, without waivers being required. So that's how you can do it without sending back, on waivers. But doesn't mean that he'll go back on waivers, right? So yeah, it's crazy. We'll see what happens with Montreal. You have Dvorak back. Doc is out. Harvey Pinard is out at the moment. You have a couple guys out. So you would think eventually Primo's gonna have to make a decision on Primo. But let's see how things go, right? Moving on now to the Detroit Red Wings. You have Billy Husso, James Rhino, and Alex Lyon. I don't think Lyon has played a game yet. That's another decision, kind of like Primu. Lyon is older, but he's a guy that could be picked off from waivers. Also, Lyon, we'll see what happens. Husso's been solid. Hasn't been amazing. He's been mediocre. I would say solid. Not amazing, not horrible, but, solid. I would say solid. And Rimo's been solid too. I would say they could be better, I would say. But they've been pretty good most nights. Those goalies have been, Husso's pretty solid. And, could they get to the playoffs with these goalies? I would say so. But I'd like to see a little bit more from Husso as the year goes on. Be solid. And, a couple of games, get a lot of goals in, like last night against the Rangers. You got to win those games. You lost 5-3, but hey, keep a little bit tighter, maybe 3-3, you know what I mean? But, or 4-3, tighter, not 5-3, not blowing it, in the first couple of periods and then trying to come back, kind of keeping it a little bit closer, tight, you know what I mean? Just saying, but Red Wings look pretty good to start the season. We'll see how things go. Moving on to the Ottawa Senators. They've been pretty mediocre, up and down. A couple good things, a lot of bad things have gone. Lost to GM, Pierre Dorian. A couple things have gone on since the new owner has come in and kind of gave a reason to let him go. So, they just signed Korpisalo to that $5 million deal. You have Forsberg, a good veteran duo here. Korpisalo's been solid. So has Forsberg, but these are guys that we want to see play, because you also have young guys, Matt Sogard and Matt Alisi and guys like that too. But Korpisalo, he is 29, and you look at he's been pretty solid. Even though he's been around a 902 save percentage, we could see a little bit more from him. But remember, he's never been a starter in the NHL. He split starts before. He's been a backup in Columbus, right? But he's never been that number one. And that's why I never understood about his deal, $5 million. They want to be that number one, but he's never been that guy. And he's 29. And you have on this $5 million deal. How is he going to become that number one guy? That's the thing, you know what I mean? So the goaltending needs to be better. He's been okay. 904 save percentage could be better for sure. And you look at Forsberg also, worse than Korpisalo. So things gotta get better for Ottawa. Goaltending rise. That means defense has to be better with the goaltending. That has to be important. There's the Battle of Ontario tonight. Right now it's 1-1. We'll see who's in goal tonight. It is, Forsberg. Not Forsberg, I'm sorry. Korpisalo, 8 saves on 9 shots. So we'll see what happens here. The goaltending gotta get better, like I said. Really gotta get better. Moving on to Boston. This is this is totally different. For Boston, the goaltending's been really solid like last year. Allmark and Swayman, one of the best duos for goalies, and they're really good friends too. Allmark has been really solid, and who's been better? Yes, Jeremy Swayman. But Allmark's been really solid too. It's kind of hard to imagine that, someone's got to be better than Allmark. Just to talk about Allmark for a second, he's just a solid Swedish goaltender. He just, Boston was supposed to take this step back. Allmark was supposed to take a step back also after winning the Vezina and having an unbelievable season, but he's really been solid. In 6 games, Allmark had a .229 goals against average, a .926 save percentage. It's only 6 games. Things can change, right? But he's been really solid. And like I said, Swayman has better numbers at this moment, and they've been playing him even more. Good to see by Swayman. He's 24 now. He's been unbelievable in 6 games. A 149 goals against average and a 952 save percentage. So even better, unbelievable numbers by Swayman. He was playing against, who was it? Gotta look back at the schedule. Trying to remember. A couple of nights ago. Wasn't it? A couple of nights ago. Can't remember what team they were playing. Was it the Ducks? No, it wasn't the Ducks. Man, I can't think of it. It'll come to me eventually. But it was a lot of point-blank saves he made. Unbelievable. Won the game. Swayman, made some really nice saves. Good to see. And he got the team in it and won the game. Another really big, another really big difference of why this team continued to be well, despite, people saying they will take a step back, right? Moving on now to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Samsonov and Woll. Samsonov has been disappointing to start the season. He was supposed to be the guy starting off here, right? Samsonov is the guy. Woll is the backup. Samsonov has struggled in the preseason. He struggled into the regular season. He has struggled too. Samsonov has been pulled a couple times this season so far. Things gotta turn around for Samsonov. He's on a one-year deal. But Samsonov really needs to turn things around here. Things have been slow for Samsonov. So, we'll see how things are. At $3.5 million, Samsonov's numbers have been really bad. 855 save percentage and a 411 goals against average. That says something, right? That is not good enough whatsoever. We like to see above 900 save percentage, around 910, 915 is, really good. Outstanding's 920, 925, right? 930, that is outstanding. But you're looking below 900, 855, 411 goals against average. Not good enough. Not good enough to win games. That's the thing, and that's why Woll has played more. Because Joseph Woll has been better, and that's the thing. So, the Maple Leafs, turn to Joseph Woll at this point. The 25-year-old, he has, another year after this, his points or his, stats, he has a 930 save percentage. Massive difference compared to Ilya Samsonov, right? And it goes against average as a 229 goals against average, right? So this is in 7 games. Things need to change for Samsonov. But at least Woll's been playing really solid. He's 25. And, that's, the question here about Samsonov. He had a really good season last year. But we'll see how things go. Moving on now to Florida. We have Bobrovsky and Stolarz. I know Knight is in the AHL trying to get himself together there. But Bobrovsky, he's always been, ever since he came to Florida, we know he's been mediocre. He's been not the best. Obviously, last year in the playoffs, outstanding what he has done. But, he has not bad numbers. He's been okay. Not horrible, like a talking point of Bobrovsky's not doing well. He's been very quiet. People talk about it not too much at all because he's been okay. Looking at a 268 goals against average and a 905 save percentage. All right, mediocre. There you go. So, Bobrovsky, can hold you. 10 million is a lot for him. Obviously, that's a lot for the next 3 years. So Bobrovsky will hold you, but we'll see when they bring up Knight eventually. I would hope they would, right? I don't know why they haven't. But Stolarz is the backup. Just want to look at Stolarz numbers. I don't really know much about Stolarz this year. Obviously, he's been, okay backup for the Ducks, before last year. I just want to know how Stolarz is doing this year. In 2 games, that's why. He only played 2 games, 257 goals against average, 904 save percentage. So, what I thought he would be. Someone who can go in there and be a backup for Bobrovsky. He's not bad at all. Pretty good there, for sure. Moving on now to Tampa Bay. Andrei Vasilevskiy is injured with a back surgery he had. He will be back around Thanksgiving time, earlier than I thought. And yeah, that's good news. But yeah. So we'll see what happens with Vasilevsky. In the meantime, the goalies have been Jonas Johansson and Tompkins. And Jonas Johansson actually been pretty solid, um, helping the Lightning win some games here. I watch him; he looks better than he has in his career. He has struggled in Buffalo and Colorado and Florida and back to Colorado, right? And am I missing a team? Maybe I am. I don't think so, but and then now signing with the Lightning this year, being like, oh man, is that really going to be a guy, a good backup? And then you found out, wait, Vasilevsky's out too? And be like, is he going to be number one? Man, that's going to be tough and all that. But he has been not bad at all. He's been pretty solid. Jonas Johansson, which is good to see because I like his, um, stature there of how he plays. And just waiting for the confidence to come for him. I like how he's built there as a goalie. I just, you're waiting for it. He's 28 years old. He signed a 2-year deal at 775,000. The numbers don't look the best, but he has been pretty solid, compared to what we thought he would be starting the season. 907 save percentage and a 317 goals against average in 10 games. So not bad for him. I don't think it's that bad compared to the games, how many games he had to play, being a number one goalie at this moment, starting the season as the number one guy. And you look at Tampa Bay in general. Tampa Bay has those 6-3-4. So, second in the Atlantic Division. So, very good to see Johansson being a good surprise heel. And you look at Matt Tompkins heel. Tompkins gets his first win in the NHL. First time, first win in 10 years after being drafted by Chicago. Not playing with, in the NHL until this year after signing, with the Lightning, being overseas and all of that. So good to see with Tompkins there. So eventually we'll see, Vasilevsky and Johansson. I'm assuming Tompkins probably goes to the AHL, but we'll see how things go here. Good opportunity for Johansson and Tompkins here for sure. Moving on now to the Buffalo Sabres. They have started okay, a little mediocre start here. The goaltending has been alright, but it could be better. Looking at Conley, start the season with him, Eric Conley. Conley this year, he's 28, 1 year left at 1.8 million. Conley right now has a 245 goals against average, 914 save percentage in 3 games. They kind of need him to be that guy because they have 2 really young guys here, and Levi and Luukkonen. And Devin Levi is very young, just came from college last year, played a couple games last year in the NHL at the end of the season, looked really solid, but really he needs time to develop. Really smart goalie. And Jukka Luukkonen is another guy who's young. He's still time to develop. He has more experience than Levi does, but he's still very young, and he's still learning to be, a solid goalie at, the NHL level. And Luukkonen has a big stature too. He's really good. Levi's really good too. Very smart goalie. But Conley can, be that veteran for them and help him out because, goaltending's not easy. And Levi's 21, right? So Levi, is a young guy, but in 5 games he's had a 341 goals against average and 885 save percentage. So, do we expect a little bit better? Yes, but he is only 21. He needs time to grow. He will grow his game. Like I said, he's a smart goalie. He really thinks the game through well, and that's what you have to be as a goalie. So he's solid. We'll see how he does. But Levi, he'll be solid in his career. And you have Jukka Luukkonen, like I said, he's 24. Looking at his stats, he's a 310 goals against average and an 899 save percentage. So we gotta kind of bring up these numbers a little, but they've been mediocre this year too. The Sabres starting the season, they can use a little, I don't know, those 6-6-1. Looking at a 500 record, points record there. So we'll see how things work out here as the season goes on. Hopefully they get themselves together. The goaltending gets a little ironed out here for them. And yeah, thanks for watching. And looking at, let's look at some teams that like the goaltending is like solid. So Boston obviously is solid. I would say, Detroit's solid. Um, you know, I would say even the Panthers are solid, A little worried about the Maple Leafs, but at least Joseph Wool has stepped up here and been pretty solid. You know, Lightning, I can't say too bad. Vasilevsky will be back, but Johansson has held down the fort pretty good there. Montreal hasn't been too bad. Ottawa needs to step it up a little with the goaltending, right? Same thing with the Sabres, step it up there. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Not horrible, but a couple teams need to step up the goaltending, for sure. So thanks for watching. See you next video. Bye.